Hi students, welcome to your math lesson of the day. Before we begin, let's discuss what day it is. So if yesterday was Sunday, then what's going to be today? Today, if yesterday was Sunday, today is going to be Monday. So that means tomorrow is going to be Tuesday. But today is Monday. And we've been working on how to write the number form of the day. And you need three things. You need the month, the day, and the year. So since we just came off of Thanksgiving, we are still in the month of November. And I know you guys know that November is the 11th month of the year. And then today is actually the last month in November because November has 30 days. So we're going to put the day, and then we are in the year of 2020. So some people put the last two digits, others can put the full four. It doesn't matter. And you can use dashes instead of slashes if you prefer that. But today is 11/30/2020. Okay, awesome. And we've been working on counting through the number fives because we are starting to learn about how to tell time on an analog clock, but we are going to dive deeper into counting our fives so we automatically know how to read the clock because we know how to count by five. So we're going to begin by counting by fives. So today in this lesson, we are going to count through 5 to 100 by counting by 5. So let us begin. We have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, and 100. We did it. Woo! And then next time we'll count to 200 by counting through our fives. But do you guys remember what I mentioned about how many minutes are in 1 hour? There are 60 minutes in 1 hour. Because it's really cool if you think about it on the clock. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Because remember, there's 12 numbers on an analog clock. You'll see 1 through 12. So 60, that's a good way to remember 60 because there's 60 minutes in 1 hour and 60 seconds also in 1 minute. But let's just take it one step at a time. We are going to learn first how to count by 5 so you could be number counting pros by counting through 5s because I know you guys can count through 0 to 150 by 1s, and I know you guys can count by 5s, and easy as that. Okay, so that's our little math warm-up activity. Now we are going to dive in, and this is, I believe, the last chapter or last section in chapter 3 before we move on to 4. And I know some of you this might be review, and others this might be brand new. But we are here in Math to Grow Better at our mathematical understanding. So in this lesson, we're going to learn about fact families, and fact families are numbers that make up to solve the addition equation, or also solve to make up subtraction equations. So these numbers are related in both addition and subtraction. I'm going to show you guys visually of how that works. So I'm going to show you for an example. So we're kind of back to the part-whole model. So remember, part plus part equals the whole. And the two parts are at the top, and then at the bottom is our whole that makes up. So I'm going to leave a blank for the whole number. So for example, we have the two parts of 4 and 2. And remember, the two parts, part plus part equals our whole at the bottom, right? So we can go ahead and put 4 plus 2 equals our whole, or we can even write 2 plus 4. In addition equation problems, it does not matter what number goes first. It could be the less number that goes in first, or it could be the greater number. That's what's cool about addition equations, because it doesn't matter what the order is in addition equations. But in subtraction equations, it's better to put the bigger number first. In middle school, it might be different because we'll learn about negatives then, but let's take it slow. So the bigger number will go first in the subtraction equation problem. But if we're trying to figure out by our two parts at the top, or also known as our add-ins, 4 plus 2 equals what? We can use the number counting method. So we can do 4 dots, 1, 2, 3, 4 for blue, and then 2 dots for red. Or we can either do the number line to solve it. So let's first do the number count method. We can count by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got the number 6. 4 plus 2 equals 6. But if you want to double check your work through the number line or by counting your fingers, like there's so many ways in math to solve one problem, which is why I love it. But if you want to go to the number line and count from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So remember what I said on the number line. It's better to put your dot on the bigger number because that means that's less counting for you to do. Because if you do it on the 2, you have to count more extra steps. But if you just put the bigger number in the addition equation problems, it's just easier for you to do. And then remember, since this is an addition equation, remember we're adding two things together to equal a bigger number. So I put my dot on the 2, and what's our other add-in? 2. So we're going to go up 2 times. We're moving further away from 0 since it's the plus sign. So we're going to gain more numbers. So we're going to move further away from 0 because if this was a subtraction equation problems, we're losing numbers. So that means we're going closer to the number 0 on the number line. So we're going to go up 2 times. 1, 2. And that also brings us to the number 6. So that is just 2 ways to work out your addition equation problems to know you got your answer correct. Because it's always good to double check by doing math and number in multiple forms. Because like the more ways you check your work in different ways, you're positive that you got your answer correctly. And this will benefit you in middle school, especially when you get into algebra. But let's take it slow. I don't know why I'm getting my head of myself today. Okay, so that's just the addition form of our fact family. So we know our whole is 6. So I'm going to put the whole at the bottom because 4 plus 2 will mean 6. So let's make a subtraction equation. So you know in subtraction equations, we want to put our bigger number first, right? So what's our biggest number in this problem? And I know you guys know because it's the whole, right? So it will be our number 6. So we're going to put 6 in our subtraction equations. Now, if we, instead of having 4 plus 2, we know 3 plus 3 also equals 6, right? So that would, if the add-ins are the same, you're going to have one subtraction equation you could make from that fact family. But since we have 2 different add-ins, 4 and 2, we can put 6 minus 2 equals what? Well, if we check our work, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we take away 2, 1, 2. You get how many dots? 1, 2, 3, 4. We get the number 4. 6 minus 2 equals 4. And then in our next problem, we are going to use our another add-in, 4. 6 minus 4 equals what? And we can use the same steps, or we can do the number line. So if we draw a small number line, I'm going to say 4, 5, and 6, okay? And since this is a subtraction, let's see, there's not going to be enough room for that. Let's do the number counting method again. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if we take away 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. How many dots are left? We have 1, 2. 2. And look how we used all of our numbers. Like we did 4 plus 2 equals 6, because that also equals 6. And we did 2 plus 4 equals 6. And then we did 6 minus 2 equals 4, and then 6 minus 4 equals 2. And that's our entire fact family, okay? And I know you're in your Big Ideas math book, it has, you know, mystery numbers for you to solve. So let's try another example. So let's look into your examples in Big Ideas math. So we have 3 and 6, and then we have a mystery at the bottom. So your whole is down there. We already know that the whole is going to be the biggest number in the part-part-whole model. So we have 3 plus 6 equals question mark, and then we have blank plus blank equals blank. And then we have blank minus 6 equals, let me write that a little bit better for you guys. There we go. Yeah, there should be a class about how to write on the iPad. Equals 3. And then blank minus blank equals blank. Okay. So you'll have 4 different equations, 2 addition and 2 subtraction. And then you have in your part-part-whole model, part 3 and 6. And we already know that the formula is part plus part equals the whole. So we're going to do 3 plus 6. And since we don't have a lot of room, I'm going to do the dot number counting method. So we have 1, 2, 3 in the first box, right? And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6. So if we want to count the total dots we have, that would equal our whole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9. So I'm going to put 9 as our whole, and then our first equation is 3 plus 6 equals 9. And then we have at the second addition equation below, we have blank plus blank equals 9. And in this addition equation, it's going to be part plus part equals the whole, right? But since we did 3 plus 6 equals 9, we are going to put 6 plus 3 equals 9, okay? And that's one way to solve. And then on the side, we have blank minus 6 equals 3. And then we have blank minus blank equals blank. So remember, we always want to put the bigger number first in subtraction equation problems. Because you're going to get a different answer if you put 6 minus 9. That's not going to be right. Since we're going to put the whole first, so we're going to put 9 and then 9. You already know to put the bigger number first. And since 9 is the biggest number in this problem, we're going to put 9 in the beginning. So 9 minus 6 equals 3. And since we already did 9 minus 6 equals 3, the next subtraction equation, we're going to put 9 minus 3 equals blank. And I know you guys probably know that the answer is going to be 6, but if we want to show off our work just to know that we have it, we can go back to our work up here and take away the 3 dots. And then we can count how many we have left over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6. So that is our fact family to show the possible 2 addition equations and then the 2 subtraction equations from this part-part-whole model, which is pretty awesome. So that's our whole fact family for this example. And we're going to try to do a different example. So in your Big Ideas math book, you might see problems that might ask you which one does not belong in this fact family. So we have 5 plus 3 equals 8. And then we have 3 plus 5 equals 8. And then we have 5 minus 3 equals 2. And then we have 8 minus 5 equals 3. So we know that our addition equation problems are correct because they have the same add-ins, just different orders they've written them in, because 5 plus 3 and then 3 plus 5, and they both have the same answer. So we know that 8 is going to be the biggest number from 3 and 5. So we can go ahead and even draw an example of a part-part-whole model. So we have 5 and 3. It doesn't matter what order it is because part plus part equals the whole. In addition equations, it doesn't matter if the bigger or smaller number is written first. But it does matter in subtraction equations, and I'm going to keep saying that a long time. So the 8 is the whole for this example. But yeah, so 5 plus 3 equals 8. Now you have above, remember for these subtraction equations, we're always going to write our whole first in the subtraction equation. So if we want to write our examples down below, 8 minus 5 equals 3. And then 8 minus 3, because it's our other part, equals our other part, which is 5. So 8 minus 5 equals 3, and then 8 minus 3 equals 5. Those would be the subtraction equation problems for this part, whole model. And we know our addition equation problems are correct. But then we have above, we have 5 minus 3 equals 2. There's no 2 anywhere in this part, whole model, so we know that this answer does not work out. But then we have 8 minus 3 equals 5 because we have that down here. And we know that's correct. So this one, we're going to mark that guy out because we know that that fact family does not belong in this. Because we have 5 plus 3 equals 8, 3 plus 5 equals 8, and then 8 minus 5 equals 3, and then 8 minus 3 equals 5. And that's that fact family. And that's all I'm going to go over for fact families today. And if you guys have any more additional questions for me, feel free to reach out and message me, email me, whatever. And we'll go over fact families together during my office hours or whenever a time is good for all. And I'll post some practice worksheets on Class Dojo, and I'll catch you guys next time.